Mr. Adams.
And on our seat we have Miss Nurse Herman. So, Auntie Colleen, so you told us about a wonderful health screening.
Screening, yeah.
So I would like to go into
Lifestyle.
lifestyle changing. So can you
Lifestyle.
tell me about that?
Okay, so when I was referring to lifestyle changes, so little lifestyle events, things that you can do to modify your behavior, so that the outcome is positive. Remember when I said earlier on, when we detect something early, and I'm going to use blood pressure again as my example. So if a patient comes to you and their blood pressure is high, there are some normal ranges that everybody's blood pressure should be at. If the patient comes to you and their blood pressure is a little bit higher than the normal range, you would send them away, you would assess them and see where they're at. So you'll do an assessment, and then based on this person's assessment, we'll give advice, so health education. So some of the things we advise on, for example, is to quit smoking. And pardon, that's easier said than done for many people, but a smoking cessation plan, stopping smoking plan, really adds years to people's lives. So the first thing we would look at would be stop smoking, and then looking at the diet or what they eat. Not diet like pop a pill or go on a fad, only eat soup for a month, not that kind of thing. But I'm talking about their diet, what they eat daily,
Nutrients.
their
Yeah,
nutrients,
nutrients, yeah.
exactly. So we will look at that, and then we would advise around the fruit and veg part, and we would advise around reducing the starch, let's say. And then it's important for each of us, and I'm going to say each of us, to have at least 30 minutes of activity a day. Heart pumping activity.
Activity, okay.
30 minutes. I know some of us are still working towards this 30 minutes. So not all of us are slim like you. Steve. So that would be exercise, and then the what we eat, the what we put in our mouth. So I've read somewhere recently, what you put in your mouth is important, but then at least you must be able to burn it off. So there's the exercise, the diet, and then the no smoking, and then also things like just healthy living, proper rest, lots of water, not wasting water, but lots of drinking, good clean drinking water, and things like that could make the necessary changes that you need to bring down the blood pressure. Also, we look at things like stress. So you would speak to the individual and say, what are your stresses? And some people say, I don't think I've got any stress. But once you start unpacking what they do for a living, that's why right back to the history. I was saying in the beginning, let's say it's a matriculant.
Sure.
I know.
Stressful life, yeah.
I know. And then let's say it's a matriculant, and right now this part of their lives are very stressful because of meeting deadlines and assignments and
Completing tasks,
applying elsewhere, etc. So we look at whatever the stresses is, if it's occupation, if it's at home, and we work through minimizing the stresses. And so you start a journey with the patient. So this is why a health screening is important, because you can journey with this person and make the necessary adjustments. Sometimes for many people, just making those adjustments, it's what they need to turn things around. Some people need medication, and so there's absolutely a place for medication. And so at a later point, the healthcare practitioner will introduce the medication part to it. But for many people, just the changes in their lifestyle, small changes, will make the change that they need.
Yeah.
Wait, I just want to say something. I like this one quote, and I won't get over that. They say small changes does make the biggest difference in our lives, you know?
Wow.
It's amazing.
Because every journey starts with the first step.
Yes.
So if we take many single steps to getting to the end, you look back and you realize how far you've traveled. And this is exactly the same with health.
Wow. So, when you were speaking about how you have to change diet and exercise. So I was thinking I want to get fit and a good body for the summer that's coming up. So I was thinking like I wanted to do like sit-ups and eat healthy and stuff. But eating, it's comfort. It loves you like you love it. And then I was starting with the exercising, and I never got through it. Like the first 2 days I did it with my sister. And then after that I'm gonna be like, tomorrow I have to do 25 push-ups sit-ups because I must yesterday.
Yeah.
So with that, you must have discipline.
Yeah.
So can you please tell me how to one discipline
Oneself,
itself
yeah.
to eat properly and to drive themselves to exercise.
Okay, so I don't know if there are personal trainers out there that might not agree with me, but I'm going to say to you, Jayde, this is my philosophy. I don't punish myself like it. Or let me say, this is what I say to patients: don't punish yourself like it. If I miss 25 today, I must do 50 tomorrow, and then you put burden on yourself, and you end up not achieving the success that you wanted. So I'm gonna say again: start with a single step.
Okay.
If today I can do 10 minutes, then focus on 10 minutes. You know, it takes 21 days to change a habit, no? It takes 21 days to change a habit. So if I've never exercised before, or if I've smoked, or whatever I've done before, I want to give up alcohol, I want to give up smoking, I want to exercise, or start small and make small, lasting changes. Don't now want to climb Mount Everest, but you can't climb Table Mountain. You see? So let's first focus on Table Mountain, and then we start small, and we achieve success small. So this whole week, I'm only going to do 10 sit-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 sit-ups. I'm preaching to myself as well. So we'll do 10 sit-ups, 10 sit-ups. So then we start small, and we're comfortable with that. And next week, we go to 15. But now, if you are wanting to do 12 today, and you know how when you put your mind to something, you don't always follow through.
Yeah.
No.
So some people are very disciplined and they can, and others can't.
Yeah.
So rather than beat yourself up and try to be a personal trainer of the year overnight within 1 week, start small, make lasting changes. What's happening in the brain when you do that? You're laying down new pathways in the brain. It's called neuroplasticity. It's a big word. That neuroplasticity. So the neuroplasticity is retraining our brain to set down new pathways, but lasting pathways. So that would be my encouragement. You don't try to do 50 push-ups on a Sunday because you missed on a Thursday and you missed on a Tuesday. Just start small. And every day we do a little bit, and then we work towards. And Jayde, I would also say to the viewers, start with something comfortable. If sit-ups doesn't work for you, do plank. And I'm not going to plank now, but do plank and strengthen the core first. And then we start with that. And then we slowly grow into the sit-ups and the push-ups and the more strenuous things. So.
Wow.
It's been really, yes.
I
yo.
don't even want to
Leave.
leave at this moment because I enjoyed
Jayde.
every single word. So, Auntie Colleen, for our viewers out there that is watching our program at this moment, can you just give them a scoop on what we actually said by the show at this moment?
Okay, so just to summarize, if that's what you're asking.
Yes.
So to summarize, we were speaking about health screenings and the importance thereof. And the importance of health screenings is every age. It doesn't only mean for the 40 plus or it's every age. We all need to go. So if you can develop a relationship with a healthcare practitioner and go at least once every second year, at least go for a checkup, and go even if you're healthy. It's when you go when you're healthy that when you have ill health that it's easy to pick up. You see, and your healthcare practitioner knows you and develop that relationship. So I was saying, it's the gig model for me. It's the general assessment. So looking at everything from the history all the way down and starting, let's say, by the top of the head down to the feet. So we look at the general, we look at the infectious diseases, and then we look at specifically around the gender. And all of this would be a risk assessment of this person and then their risk reduction plan. And so the outcome would be healthier you.
Two mensen, dat was al van Nurse Herman, me, Jayde September.
And Houston Adams?
Stay tuned and we'll see you next week.
Next week.